name's Gerard Washington, Fire Chief of Vista, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, born and raised. Recently relocated to this city with this amazing opportunity to be Fire Chief here. I was contacted by a recruiter who thought I'd be a perfect fit for this community in that the work that I was doing in Menomonee Falls is very similar to what needed to be done here. Reached out to me, I did my due diligence. I knew of San Diego County and this area a little bit, but as I delved more into it, I found out it would be a perfect fit if I got the opportunity to be Fire Chief here. I had the urge to be a firefighter very early on in life. I was about 5 years old, and I live in Central City, so inner city Milwaukee, and I would visit the local fire station, and it was located on Titonia Locust, and I lived near 13th and Burleigh, so it was about half a mile. So you can imagine this 5-year-old Gerard Washington bobbing and weaving through traffic to get to this fire station because I wanted to talk to the firefighters that were there. I would see the engine come out of there. I would see the battalion chief that was assigned there at the time roll out and try and chase them down and follow them to wherever they were going. And I would stop by, ring the doorbell, and tell them that I wanted to be a firefighter one day. And they would tell me, stay out of trouble and get good grades. They would also invite me into the fire station and show me around the engine, tell me what they did, and if I had questions, they would answer it for me. But they were always respectful of me as an individual and wanting to be a firefighter. They never dashed those hopes. So that's why I'm such a proponent for community engagement, to quote unquote having the doors open, giving people an opportunity to see behind the curtain. Because if I had a bad experience, I believe, at that young age by those individuals, and none of them look like me, I may not have wanted to go down the path of being a firefighter. It could have deterred me, and so that's why I'm hypersensitive when it comes to any and all interactions that I have with the public, and I encourage that with our personnel. You know, you never know what impact you have on someone, and so it's imperative that we always make that time for them and to try and answer those questions in those non-emergency situations. Do your research. You know, we often interview people and we're asking them questions to see if they're a right fit for us. I challenge people to see, is the department a right fit for you and your family? And so with that, as you do your due diligence, there shouldn't be too many surprises as you go through the process, as you're onboarded and as you become part of this team. I've found in the past some people have said to me, they didn't know that it was going to be this tough, or they didn't know some of the scenes were going to be this gory, or they didn't know that there was this much education that was required, ongoing education. So I think it's imperative that any organization you join, be it public sector or private sector, you do your due diligence in researching that company you want to be a part of. I can tell you what jumps out at me right away. Cooperation and collaboration. Internally, meaning here in the fire department, but externally with the city. Looking at the other city directors, my boss, John Conley, the council, everyone willing to roll up their sleeves and do what needs to be done. And the value that has been put on the fire department, not only about fire suppression, but EMS, community engagement. I have never experienced anything like this in my 32 years in the fire service. So this is very unique, what I'm experiencing here in the city of Vista. Cooperation with the politicals, with my boss, and with the department, the floor. It's amazing, and I'm more than excited about the opportunities that are afforded us and what's coming. I'll use the phrase I've used in the past. I think it's imperative that any fire chief can't just talk about succession planning. It has to be intentional and it has to be consistent. And so my vision, working with administration, the command staff, and with the floor, is to build a succession plan for the day that Fire Chief Gerard Washington is no longer leading this department, that we have more than enough capable individuals to take this department where it needs to be and to leave it better than we found it. I'm a firm believer in all our names are in pencil, especially the fire chief, and that's intentional. It should be in pencil because the next person will step up and take the department to the next level. And again, it can only be done with cooperation from everyone. I will never be able to do this by myself. The floor will never be able to do it by themselves. The city will never be able to do it by themselves. So as we come together, we will take this department of the city to the next level. And with that, Vista first.